Welcome to How We Heard It, the podcast about music, pop culture, movies, and more, with your hosts Wayne Bledsoe and Chuck Campbell.
Ahoy, this is Chuck Campbell with
Wayne Bledsoe, and
I'm John Baker.
I have no idea if I pronounced that right. It's supposed to be Czech for hello.
I thought you were being nautical.
I
thought you said ahoy.
It sounded even more nautical just now. So, to any Czech-speaking people out there, I probably just flubbed that. I don't remember people saying hi much in Czech when I was there, so who knows what that was all about. But
However,
our topic today, songs about friends and friendship.
Yep.
I think this is a great topic. Another winner from Sarah, your sweetheart.
Oh, is this Sarah's?
This is Sarah's idea.
She gave us cheaters too. It seems like they just pop in her head, and we're just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it was just immediate.
Think of that? Yeah.
It was good.
I think we're probably going to have some similars, or some
Oh, I'm sure we probably
copies.
will.
Yeah, I'm going to confess that I kind of like shorthanded it today. All of us seem to have traumas and ordeals today, so we might be flying by the seat of our pants. I don't know. But normally I'm all organized, and I've got all my categories and chronological, and it's not quite like that this time. It's more of just a rando list of songs.
Can I say I'm relieved?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm going to say, well, let's see how this goes then, I might just lean on y'all and push you. And what else was I going to say? See, I've already forgotten what I was even going to say. But what do you think of this topic?
I think it's a good topic. I mean, one of my favorite bands, the Kinks, we've talked about before. They don't have a whole lot of love songs,
Right.
like very few,
Right.
but they have a lot of songs about friendship.
Okay.
And there's a lot of songs out there. I mean, it was funny because I looked over suggestions. I mean, I had my list, a big list already written, and I went to see what I might have missed. And people put down things like "In My Life" by the Beatles, which I think is a love song
Right.
more than a friend song.
Right.
And I eliminated the ones that are love songs.
Okay. I know what I was going to say is like I have more old songs than I normally do.
Oh, my gosh.
And I think the reason is when I was a kid, I understood songs about friends.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't relate to coupling and all that and drinking and drugging and whatever else other bands were singing about or really political stuff. But friends, I understood that. So I think those kind of stuck with me a little better or the meaning resonated with me.
Right.
Because I had friends,
Well, what's the oldest song on your list?
The oldest song, actually, 1967, Beatles with a little help from my friends.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's
a good
the one that they wrote for Ringo for his, Billy Shears character?
Well, I mean,
Sgt. Pepper. I don't know what any of this means. It's just I know that song, and I looked it up. It's like, did he write that? And he's like, he sang it, but I guess.
Yeah,
Paul
they
and
introduce
John
it
wrote
and they say Billy Shears, and then he
Okay.
starts singing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I like that. I get by with a little help with my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. That resonated with me, and I do believe that is definitely my oldest. And then there's like a bunch of '70s stuff.
Seems like there were a lot of 70s friend songs.
Yeah. Well, I noticed a little trend. Here I am, things coming. But '70s songs, and maybe it's just where I was as a kid and whatever. It does seem like songs were a little more sappy about friends, the ones I remember.
Huh.
And then like 80s, and then as I became an adult and became an older adult, they got more sarcastic and mean and downbeat and all that stuff. So, but thematically, the ones that stuck with me when I was really young were more gushy kind of friend songs.
Well, my oldest one this time is probably 1922.
Oh, God. Wayne!
That's when it was written. I have a version recorded in the 90s by Dr. John. It's a standard. It's My Buddy.
That's by who?
It was original. Well, Dr. John, I've got a great
Dr.
version
John,
of
okay.
Dr. John doing it.
Okay.
But it was introduced in 1922 by Henry Burr, who was a classic, like tenor on 78 records.
Okay.
So it was very popular. But it's a great song, and it's funny because there's a certain period of time where there were people who probably wouldn't sing that song because it's such a sentimental, sweet song about having a good friend and how he misses him. Mm-hmm. And it holds up. It's still a great song.
Okay.
Well, I went with my usual formula, and that is to just think. I didn't research anything. I just started thinking up songs about friends, and the very first one I came up with was Queen, "You're My Best Friend."
Mm-hmm.
And
the
thing about that one is I played in a band at one point that we reproduced Queen's greatest hits. And we worked so hard on it, and it was so difficult. And I remember going in thinking, there is no way we're going to be able to do this. And I said, the one song that I think might be pretty easy is "You're My Best Friend," because it seems like it would be easy. Mm-hmm. And it is not easy at all. It's got 39 chords in it. It is. Yeah. That's the genius of that song, is that it sounds simple, but it is not.
Right.
So that's why I thought of that one.
It's a great song. My friend Dwight at work suggested that one when I told him what the subject was today. And it's it's just, it's a great, lyrically though, it is one of those songs. It's just like a real appreciation of friendship. Mm-hmm. What it feels like to have a good friend.
Yeah. Were there any underlying meanings or anything, or is it just straightforward?
I think it's totally straightforward.
Okay.
Yeah, another one from that era that is, I looked over everything I have, and my favorite Friend song of all of them is John Martin, who was a contemporary of Nick Drake. They played shows, the few shows that Nick played, but they were friends. But it's just it's a song that stands out. So may you never lose your temper in a barroom fight. May you never lay your head down without a hand to hold. May you never make your bed out in the cold.
What's the name of the song?
May You Never.
Oh.
May You Never. By John Martin?
John Martin. Marty.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for y'all, I'm going to grab this one. It's I didn't understand more than one person doing a song, and I knew I remembered this song. There was a man singing, and there was a woman singing, and it's "You've Got a Friend," Carole King and James Taylor.
Right. She wrote it, and he made it.
She wrote it, and she sang it too.
Right.
So it's what a gentle, awesome, just beautiful song.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so.
Yeah, I remember when that came out when I was a kid, and I remember, just stopping to listen to it, because it's one of those songs where you do want to stop what you're doing and pay attention to it. The sentiment is so sweet and so nice.
With the beauty of, the sweet songs can be hit or miss. If they're off, then they're way off. You know? But if they're on, it's just like you feel it in your heart.
Yeah.
Well, and I think just the concept of friendship it's so deep. Because friends you choose. It's different than family. Family is your family. You can't change that.
Yeah.
But friends are your family that you choose.
Right.
And I used to, in a former life, I used to be a counselor, and you got a counseling magazine, and I remember there was one whole episode just about friends and what they mean and the symbolic value of friendship. And man, I wish I could put my hands on that. I know I saved all those magazines, but I can't find it. But
well, yeah, and they are different from family. Family's hit and miss. It's like just because you're related,
but you're stuck with them.
Yeah, and one of my best friendships came from a friend of mine who was having problems with her brother, just like I was having problems with my sister.
Uh-huh.
We're just kind of like, well, just because you're related doesn't mean you have to love them. And then we're like, and suddenly it was like,
you don't?
It was like, you can be my sister and I'll be your brother, and we'll just ignore those people we're related to for now,
Well, see, I look at that you can love them, but you don't have to like them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And there's some of those.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, I'm not dismissing if you've got a great bond with someone you're related to.
Right.
It's beautiful.
It's wonderful.
But going out and picking people who you're not related to and just devoting yourself to them and them devoting themselves to you, that's like there's no obligation like you might feel with a friend, with a family member.
Yeah. Well, like John says, you're creating your own family.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the way I've always felt about it.
And you choose your friends based upon what you would love to see in yourself. It's like you project wildly onto your friends.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think, I like that guy because he's creative and honest.
Yeah.
And it's because I want to see that in me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was taking, you took more psychology classes than I did. But when I was in college, I was taking psychology classes, and I realized I could, identify different characteristics of mine and which friend I stole them from,
Yeah.
I'm like a composite of 4 friends from childhood. And and I just kind of modeled myself after them in different ways.
Well, it's interesting because I wound up with a lot of much younger friends.
Oh, that is interesting.
In my life. I mean, I've got some really old friends and some really young ones, but I've always had a real wide range. But my younger friends, at least a couple of them, really inspired me to try things that I wasn't trying and do things, you know. And one of them asked me to be in a video one time, and I didn't do it. And I said, you know, I mean, I'd just be so old. And he said, I asked you to be in it.
Right.
And it was like, oh, okay, my bad. And
I think it was an advantage we had in working like a real intergenerational environment because, you know, when I started, I was the youngest one. So I was learning from everybody and generations and older generations than them, you know, and then as time went by, younger generations began inspiring me with just different ways of thinking and different ways of putting things in perspective. And you just kind of like can draw from, you know, we didn't, you know, we literally would work with people who were like an 18-year-old intern to an 82-year-old that everyone was wondering when they were going to retire, you know. Yeah. So, and it's great just coming in every day and having that kind of variety of people working with you.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, I have more friends than anybody should have probably because I try to keep up with so many people. But it's like I have one friend that I was just talking about before we started taping who just turned 96.
Wow.
And then I think my youngest friends have all passed 30 now. But but I still have, you know, friends who are 40 something, you know, 40 years younger than me anyway.
Well, remember when we were, I don't want to get too far from the songs, but remember when we were working with the interns in our department, they were reporting to me, and we would have meetings where we would just sit down with them every week, just one-on-one. You had meetings with them too, and I had meetings with them, and just kind of giving them life advice and career advice and stuff like that. And I would always come away from it learning as much as they did, you know, just because they're like brought out of college or whatever and looking at how they're going to like live their whole lives and map everything out and just seeing, you know, their values and what they wanted out of life and everything helped influence me.
Yeah. Well, with me, it's been like younger artists that have been, that like they go for it. They don't care that, okay, maybe you shouldn't do this. They go ahead and do it. Yeah. And that's inspired me to go ahead and go for it more times than I was in the past. Yeah.
Pretty good. Just lean on me.
Bringing up another
Getting
one.
back to the songs about friendship, Lean on Me, Bill Withers. That one, you know, I think there was a while that I wasn't really buying it, maybe when I was a little kid, you know, but over time it's like, wow, you know, it's a good song, I think. Yeah. And what was it? Club Nouveau in '86, they came around and had another hit with the same song, and I think it's been covered many times. Oh, yeah. It's kind of a standard. Yeah. But just that, you know.
Well, the good thing about Bill
Lean
Withers,
on me when you're not strong. It's just such a simple, you know, offer. So.
Well, his songs were always just very, very simple, very heartfelt, and, you know, I thought they were completely sincere. He was an interesting character.
Did you ever meet him?
I never met him. There's a really good documentary on him called Still Bill, where, I mean, he just left the music business. He just he stopped making music entirely. Huh. And then kind of came back for this one event. But, you know, he was done with it. But, you know, I had to respect watching that documentary. Just, this is not for me anymore. This is not what I wanted. And he was like a factory worker.
Really?
Yeah, and I can't remember who it was that discovered him, but, you know, he was out there making this music. And then for a short period of time, he was like the biggest thing in the country. Yeah. He was a big deal. I mean, you know, Ain't No Sunshine, Lean on Me, Grandma's Hands. Me. Say what?
Use Me.
Yeah, Use Me. That's a great one, too. And Wine Light with Grover
Who is he and what is he to you?
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah. But that's a terrific one.
Let me ask you about Kenny Loggins. Whenever I call you friend, you openly shuddered at that. When one that has Stevie Nicks,
it does
singing back on there, but she doesn't get credit on the single, but she is on the album. I don't know what that's all about. But that song, I looked at the lyrics. It's like I remember the song, but I don't remember much about it. It's like 78, but it's like he's talking to a lover, and that calling his lover friend is maybe the biggest compliment he can pay. That's how the song feels. Am I interpreting that right?
That's the way I interpret it.
Okay. Because just whenever
I know the song.
Oh, you do. You couldn't get away from it. Okay. That's why I shuddered.
What's the name of the song again?
Whenever I Call You Friend by Kenny Loggins, featuring Stevie Nicks backing vocals.
I think maybe I can bring it into my memory.
Yeah, it's you've heard it a million times.
It's ubiquitous.
Well, I appreciate the theme at least, even if the execution's not great. Just to say that your loved one, the person closest to you, that calling them your friend also is like the best compliment you can pay.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's what makes relationships last.
Oh yeah,
I mean, romantic relationships.
Yeah, I've told many people the secret to my marriage is, sure, we love each other, but we like each other.
Yeah,
yep, that's pretty key. I wish the youngins today would get a hold of that, because it's not cool to just fight all the time about everything. You don't want that in your life, Sorry.
Well, and there's things that you admire about that person. I mean, there's infatuation.
Yeah.
Where you just, you basically think, oh, everything about them is wonderful, and then
that wears off.
Yeah, and then you have to look at, okay, here's some negatives or whatever. Here's some things that are, a challenge. But overall, I mean,
on balance,
exactly. You have your friend. I mean, there's someone you admire and you want to be friends with, aside from the physical, romantic attractions.
Yeah, you don't just want to eat a hole through their T-shirt or something. You'll get past that, people. You'll get past that.
I mean, that is a fun part of it.
That's a fun part of it. Let that go, and it'll get better.
Eat a hole through their T-shirt.
Well,
I'm a very visual. I immediately have a picture of it.
Don't do that.
Well, you didn't. When you were talking about the Beatles, I want to bring up another song.
Okay.
That I didn't appreciate when I was a kid for some reason. I just didn't pay attention to it, and it's "The Two of Us," which could be a romantic song, but I think it's about John and Paul.
Yeah,
I think it's a friendship song.
It's a great.
Did they both write it?
No, I think it's. God, actually, I think they may have.
Because I think Paul wrote his verses and John wrote his verses.
I think they did.
Sounds right.
But they were trying to sound like the Everly Brothers when they did it.
Huh.
And it's...
Is this an earlier song for
No, it's off Let It Be.
Wow. Okay.
So it's off their last released album, even though it was recorded before.
Abbey Road.
Yeah. But, and it's just basically a list of them doing things together.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a super sweet song, and I don't think it gets enough airplay.
Yeah, it's not ringing a bell to me.
It's a great one.
I think one of the best parts about Let It Be is just how light and airy it seems.
Yeah. Well, I liked it much better after Paul released the Let It Be Naked
Yeah,
version.
without all the Phil Spector slop on it.
Oh my God, Phil Spector that's one of the reasons I hate. I couldn't stand it because there was just too much orchestrations. It was
Too much reverb.
Yeah, I mean, the Long and Winding Road just wore me out.
Okay. It was a long and winding road.
It was just too much orchestra and too much choir, and it's like, this is supposed to be a real, kind of a stripped down album to begin with, and once they finally released it that way, then I loved it.
I do kind of have some themes I can slide through.
Knew you were going to have themes.
I
You lied.
I have initials that are like SW, TV, P. So I've got like party songs and I've got serious songs. And TV is like songs that were kind of written for movies or TV shows.
Okay.
The first one I have here is Andrew Gold's "Thank You for Being a Friend."
I got that one.
Right, yeah.
That's from
The Golden Girls?
It was for 1978, and then it was it was recorded by a woman singing for the Golden Girls, and that is like symbolic of the Golden Girls, and it's like their T-shirts all say "Thank you for being a friend," and everything is all. So it's a nice tribute. The song itself is a nice tribute. He was kind of a peculiar singer and all, but I appreciate that because it was like
Well, while we're talking TV shows, you got to have "I'll Be There for You" by the
Rembrandts.
Rembrandts.
The Rembrandts, 1994 or 5, when Friends came out.
It was the theme song to Friends.
Yeah. And I've got Randy Newman, You've Got a Friend in Me from Toy Story.
Yep.
1995.
And that's a really good song for
it is.
It's an animated movie. It really stands out as like, this is fun.
And it's by a guy who has sometimes a very sharp, acidic wit.
Oh, yeah.
And to have just this kind of open you know, you got a friend in me. So
Well, speaking of animated movies, I came up with one that I bet you all didn't come up with. It was Me and My Arrow.
Oh, I didn't
Harry
think
Nilsson.
about that. I love that song. Yeah,
I love that whole movie.
It's about his dog.
Yeah.
oh no, I don't.
It was
know
from
this.
it was from an
sure.
animated movie called The Point, and the main character is a little boy, and all the children have pointed heads except for him, and he doesn't have a point.
Oblio.
Oglio.
Okay.
And his mom makes him a hat that makes a point, but he has a dog Arrow, and the Arrow is really his only friend because he's different from everyone else. And the song is Me and My Arrow. It's a great song.
Wow.
I'm surprised you've never seen
was
that.
this?
They used to show it on TV all the time. I have a copy of it.
When
Oh,
did
do
it?
you? It's in the 70s.
Well, it came out in like 72 or something, but they showed it a lot.
And what's the name of
The
The Point.
The Point.
Because he was a
It's like
pointless.
something
He was a
I've
pointless.
I've never even heard of this.
Yeah.
I would remember a dog thing, you know.
Yeah, well, the song was a hit. Of
was.
course, it was. Yeah, it was. But it was a hit. You know, before Chuck was paying attention to music.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, about
Clearly.
72, something like that.
I got another dog friend's story, a song. My pal Foot.
The Shags.
The Shags. And the story here is, do you know the Shags, Chuck?
Yeah, sort of.
The Wiggins sisters. And their dad thought that they were the greatest musicians that ever lived and sent them to have lessons and then bought them studio time, and they could just barely play their instruments. They're so bad it's good.
Yeah, okay.
That's even being generous. Yeah.
But my pal Foot is about her dog Foot.
If you've never heard the Shags, it's sort
Go
of
out of your way to hear the
unbelievable.
Shags.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
that you'll.
I've heard the Shags, but I just, you know.
Just the album cover is worth the price.
I remember like weird fonts and kind of odd. Like
Yeah.
almost
Oh
like,
yeah. It's
like
got.
kidnapping, you know, like cutting letters out of a newspaper to paste them.
Actually, I think it's like
ransom
Old
note.
English
Old English. Oh,
on
wow.
the Shags. I don't remember the back may have something
Okay.
like that, but the front is just like it's Philosophy of the World's the name of the album.
Okay.
And yeah.
I might like this. So bad they're good.
Oh, yeah, they're fun.
Okay. All right.
Was it old? Yeah, it's Old English type, I think.
Oh,
No,
So we're all looking at the phone now.
Oh no, oh yeah, Philosophy of the World's in.
Philosophy of the World is in an Old English script.
Well, I got party songs too. The party friends, the getting drunk with friends, the running around with friends. I have more of those than anything else.
Okay, well, yeah.
What you got? You got more sappy things because I still have some of that too.
Oh, we'll go back.
I got one
We'll
more
just go
movie.
back and forth.
One more movie. Whitney Houston's "Exhale," "Shoop Shoop" from the movie "Waiting to Exhale," 1995. It's my favorite Whitney Houston song, so I try to bring it up often. Very pretty song. It's
The
like
song is called what?
the song's called "Exhale,"
Oh,
and it's from the movie "Waiting to Exhale."
okay.
So, and it's all about, you know, the ups and downs of love, but when you've got friends, you know, you can depend on that and they'll see through anything.
Well, before we leave movies and TV shows and Nielsen, I put down the Nielsen song "Best Friend," which was the theme to a TV show called "The Courtship of Eddie's Father," which was on when I was a little kid.
Oh, I remember that.
But the theme song is "People, Let Me Tell You About My Best Friend."
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I know that.
And it started out as being about girlfriend, and he changed it to best friend, and it's better as best friend.
Okay. Cool. I can dig it. Okay, well, I got another sentimental song, which I think, well, the Dionne Warwick, Elton John, Gladys Knight, Stevie Wonder, That's What Friends Are For.
But that's a Burt Bacharach song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the four of them sing on that. And it was a fundraiser for, sickle cell anemia and AIDS, and this was like in 85.
Yeah.
So you don't want to like go, oh gosh, what treacle, you know, or anything like that. It was like very mature singers, you know, just singing about friendship and all that. And that made me think of just the nastiest, meanest, whatever crazy, you know, type of party type song.
Well, I'm interested in this now. I want to know this.
Well, I mean, like a Blur, Girls and Boys.
Yeah.
You get nasty blisters.
Chewing through their shirt.
Yeah, just the greatest chorus. It's girls who are boys who like boys to be girls who do boys like their
Yeah.
girls who do girls like their boys. Always should be someone you really love. So But anyway.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to think of the mean ones. There's it's not really mean, but Billy Joel has a great song on the album Turnstiles called James, about like a childhood friend who decided to stay in town and kind of go the route that everybody expected him to go, as opposed to Billy Joel, who went out and became an entertainer. And it's a really nice song. And he's basically writing a letter to his friend in a song, saying, do you like your life? Are you happy with who you are now?
Is there any kind of answer? I mean, what do we know about
Not
that?
really. He's just questioning it, and it's like that. That when you run across somebody you haven't talked to in a long time that was a good friend, and you're catching up with them, that's kind of what this is.
That's good. Well, I was a weird one.
What?
The Jim Carroll Band, People Who Died. He goes through the list of people who died, and he always says, they were all my friends and just died. And these are the people who died. And naming all the ways these people died. And it sounds kind of sarcastic. It was like, when was that? In 1980, so it was kind of in that pop punk or whatever. I don't know what you would have called it then, alt rock kind of a thing.
It was still, people call it punk.
Yeah, it was, but it's melodic and everything. So it was.
It's a great song.
It was a great song. It was just odd. I mean,
yeah, well, it's kind of a litany just of everybody.
Well, I just wonder. I mean, he seemed to be pretty young. So many people who died, and just every cause of death imaginable.
Well,
I'm sure there was some license there, liberties taken.
Well, he grew up in the city, and I think he basically was a hustler for a little while.
Okay.
And
It's Jim Carroll.
Jim Carroll.
Yeah, he was a poet.
He was a poet, but I mean, I think the Basketball Diaries was written when he was in high school in basketball, doing and he was a teenager when he was writing, so that's when he knew all these people who died. Yeah, including one who ate Drano. That's the one I've always wondered.
Yeah, one of them I think drank Drano or something like that
on his wedding night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a story I want to know.
Yeah.
And drug overdoses and just accidents and just it's an interesting song.
Yeah.
And what's the one that reminds me of 49 lines about 49 girls or something? What was that song? It was a different song, but it's the same thing where he listed all the different girls.
Yeah. That's the
Anyway, it was a similar theme, just like name it. You would know the girls,
Yeah.
50. So and so was such and such, and so and such and such and such.
It's kind of talk sings.
Yeah.
I remember that when I was in college.
Well,
it's not ringing a bell.
And I just came across. I forgot. You seem to have some acceptance of Bette Midler.
I love Bette Midler.
Okay, what do you think of "Wind Beneath My Wings"?
I hate that song.
All right,
I hate that song. Not only do I hate that song, that is a song that's like. Let me summarize it for you. I'm great, and you helped. I despise that song. She did record a song called "Friends."
Okay.
On the Divine Miss M, which Buzzy Linhart wrote, who was like this singer-songwriter in New York that apparently was a thing in New York that never got out anyplace else. Nobody else, I don't think, knew anything about him particularly. But it's a real sweet song about how it's important to have friends and help you get through things.
Well, "Wind Beneath My Wings" is, of course, from the Beaches soundtrack, and it came out in '88, and it was just very, very sugary. And I guess it was melodramatic because not her, but the other woman died in it, right? And she was the one who. It was just
I remember.
Yeah. All right, we'll let that one go. But
I got a couple of Simon and Garfunkel songs.
Okay.
Bookends.
Great song.
The old friends sit on the park bench like bookends, lost in their overcoats.
Yep.
It's great poetry.
On the album Bookends.
On the album Bookends. And then Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Yeah.
That's a good friend song.
Yeah, and I mean, that's like Lean on Me, except it's like, takes it to the 11, It's just, I think it's terrific.
Yeah, Paul Simon is just, what an amazing songwriter.
Yeah, and when you have Art Garfunkel's voice.
Angelic voice.
Yeah, just like hovering over everything. It's just, it's a killer.
Mm-hmm. What about Joy to the World? Jeremiah was a good friend of mine.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
I guess friends can be bullfrogs.
Yeah.
Was Jeremiah really a bullfrog?
According to Hoyt Axton,
he's
the guy who wrote
all about?
Did he write that?
Yeah.
Hoyt Axton?
Yeah, it's just about having a good time and being joyous.
With frogs.
Well,
Or a frog.
Or frogs. Lloyd actually tended to throw a lot of animals in his songs. He was a real animal lover.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I like animals.
Yeah, there's I think we talked about it at one point. There's a great song called Hey Packy that Loudon Wainwright covered. It's actually written by George Gerdes, but my favorite line is, some folks is wondering why they was born. They ain't never been swimming with a dog in the morning. So if your best friend is a dog, it's like...
Oh, man. Why did I not think of dogs? I don't know why I didn't think of dog songs and dog friends. That's the best. I got another sappy one here from 1999.
Okay.
You may have heard this, the Vitamin C graduation, Friends Forever. It gets made fun of a lot for being such a sappy song, but it's all about you're graduating and, you're all moving on with your lives. And it's got that line,
I remember that now. I remember it.
We will still be friends forever. And all I can say is, no, you won't. I mean, there are people I graduated with that I never saw again after graduation,
And that was by design.
Yeah.
There were some people that it was by design.
And there's some people I thought I would be friends with forever, and no, just didn't happen,
Well, that reminds me of a great Danny O'Keefe song called All My Friends Are Going to Be Strangers, which is sad kind of song, but it's basically talking about the people that he knows on the road.
Yeah.
And it's temporary heroes with their pockets full of fame who search for perfect women with straight teeth and no last names. But it's just talking about how, we know each other now, but there'll come a time when we don't.
Yeah. It's sad. I mean, it's true, too, because there are a lot of people that, I considered friends, I considered close friends, and then you just suddenly you're not talking anymore, and there's no reason you aren't, and then you feel sad whenever you remember that, and sometimes you'll write them out of the blue, and they have to be receptive at the right time. Same thing with me. If someone says, Chuck, I was thinking of you the other day, and we hadn't talked in 5 years. I'm like, oh, that's true, we haven't. How you doing? It's like, I don't know what to do with that, but it's like, it is sad because you share, a bond with people, and then for no reason other than just you've moved to different places and you don't see each other anymore, and then life gets busy and blah, blah, you're caught up in the day-to-day. And
well, that is, we all talk about how bad social media is, but that is one of the really good things about social media. I've kept up with people through social media, just watching their families grow and watching things happen to them, and I feel more connected to a lot of these people that I would like to have more time to spend time with, but I don't. I just reconnected with a friend that I hadn't talked to since before the pandemic, and he and another friend and I went out to lunch, and it was like every time I get to go to lunch with him or see him, it's like it doesn't feel like any time's passed.
Yeah. I mean, you can just pick back up and just start talking again, like, but it's still. And I got to say, I'm going to throw some shade at Facebook here. I hate what they've done to where the friends in your feed aren't. It's just all sponsored ads, and and it's just all advertising. You go through your friends list and you think, gosh, they've not been on here forever. And you click on it, it's like they just posted like 2 hours ago, and they don't show up on your feed. And friends used to show up on your feed more often, and Facebook just like they want to monetize more than that. So you're getting spoon fed.
Well, that's what they.
And that's what sucks, because Facebook was good, and all of them were good at like the people you want to follow, the people you interact with. You get to see all your friends, and now you just look, and I think, what is it, like 5 or 6 of your friends they'll show routinely, and then most of your friends never show up in your feed. And I thought that's the whole reason that you're friends is so they'll be in your feed.
Well, I mean, Facebook. As far as like when Sarah posts something, we're listed on Facebook as in a relationship.
Right.
Her stuff hardly ever shows up in my feed.
Right.
I have to go looking for it.
It's ridiculous.
I know.
And yet you get, like one thing that you would never buy, and it shows up over and over and over and over again, And,
well, or they do, and I was just praising what was good about social media, but this is what's bad about it, is they do things to get a reaction from you.
Yeah.
They, they want to piss me off. They'll put something out there to piss me off.
Yeah.
I'll click the little thing that says, don't show me this crap.
Right. Oh, yeah. X is worse than Facebook.
I've never done X.
Yeah, I know. But
I did Twitter back when it was Twitter before
before it became X.
Before it became X, and the thing that I liked about Twitter was that it was instantaneous.
Yeah.
If something was happening, it was on there immediately. Yeah. But man, it is just toxic.
Instagram's better, I think. Instagram, because you really do have to curate who you want to see and all that.
And it's more visual.
I see your daughter all the time, Wade.
Well, that's good.
She's awesome. So she shows up. That's great. You know, Randall, our friend Randall. Right. So I think Instagram's probably done the best job. TikTok's also just a whole other nightmare. I don't know about Threads very much.
When I quit Twitter X, I went to Threads, and then Threads just devolved into what Twitter had been. Yeah. So I stopped that too.
Yeah.
The only things I ever look at are Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, they kind of tease you with, here's your family and friends, and you can keep up with them every day. And then you come over there, and then they just like hide them from you.
Yeah.
They just sell crap to you.
Yeah,
thank you for being a friend.
Yeah, thanks Facebook, etc. All of you guys.
I got one.
Okay.
Friend of the Devil.
I love that song.
Grateful Dead. That's a great song.
Yep. Off American Beauty, the album everybody ought to have.
Yeah, it's a good one. And how about Rolling with My Homies? Coolio.
Oh, okay.
It's from the Clueless movie.
Okay, yeah.
Remember that one? I thought of that one in bed this morning.
Well, I guess Gin and Juice falls into that too.
What?
Snoop Dogg, Gin and Juice.
Is that a Friend song?
Yeah, I think. Dr. Dre's going to come off with...
Well, in Rolling with My Homies, he mentioned Snoop and his gin and juice.
Well, there you go. Well, Snoop's waiting on Dr. Dre to show up with some hose and some blow. Or no, it wasn't blow, it was chronic. Some good weed.
Well, if we're going to do hip-hop, I would say Drake started from the bottom. That's probably my favorite. And it's just like real triumphant. I don't always like Drake either, but it's just like what is it? Now my whole team's effing here. You know, it's triumphant talking about his team, and they started from the bottom, and they've come up together. And oldie hip-hop, I guess, Beastie Boys, Fight for Your Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about the oppression of your parents, and and the video made it too, and it's just all partying, and you got to fight for your right to party. And your teacher, just going through the list of people who were oppressive and everything, but how your friends would tear up everything.
Well, I like how Public Enemy, their label mates, put out a song called "Party for Your Right to Fight."
Yeah, that's good.
How about Friends in Low Places?
Oh,
yep,
Garth Brooks.
I'm not a big Garth Brooks fan, but that is a great song.
It is. I think, as country goes, he's better than most.
Well, now he seems like just the
he's
pinnacle.
A country god now.
But that was the song that was really his breakthrough song.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's no way not to like that song hardly.
No, you're right.
It's well written. It's just good
well
kind
delivered.
of party song.
I like the voicey intones for that. Yeah.
And it's got a lot of humor to it.
Yeah. I got bringing it to the inevitable Olivia Rodrigo reference of this episode. But her first breakthrough song, or her first song on her first album, Sour, was called Brutal.
Right.
And we've talked about Elvis Costello. You know, you borrowed a line from that and everything. But it's all about how she has no self-confidence, low self-esteem. Her life's never going to happen. She's never going to be able to drink, and she hates everything. She knows that everybody hates her, and she's self-conscious. But she says, I only have like 2 real friends. But those 2 friends in the video, it's awesome. They just kind of like, they take on her on either side and just grab her by the arm, and they drag her through school, and they're just like determined, and they end up in traffic together. I don't know. The bottom line is the only thing she has in her life, and you know, a no self-esteem teenager is those 2 friends, you know, and it's like a kind of a nice little twist on a song for someone who's at wit's end. So.
That's cool. How about the White Stripes? We're going to be friends. The song starts off Napoleon Dynamite. And it's just like, that's another one about friends in school, and basically we're just going to get together and hang out and be friends. I know we are.
There's another one I thought of this morning right after I woke up, and that is Me and the Boys by NRBQ.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one, too.
That's a party song. Just going out, hanging out, and driving around in the car.
That's good. So, if we're going to do some like party stuff, one of my favorites, more recent one is Miley Cyrus, We Can't Stop. Because it's a celebration of drugs and sex and partying. And it was her...
So that's friends with benefits then, I
yeah,
guess.
friends, yes. And all friends with all benefits in one big body fluid, hot tub, and whatever. But I mean, she was breaking out in a big way, and it just had that line, "It's our party, we can do what we want. It's our party, we can do what we want." So she's refined her message and become a young lady in her 30s. And but that was just really good and raw, which some of the best Friend songs are like that, I think. Like Wet Leg, I've talked about them. One of my favorite songs of the year this year is Catch These Fists. And it's all about just ditching some guy who's just a jerk. And she's like, I don't want your love. I just want to fight. And then she gets into the don't approach me. I just want to dance with my friends. So she's having fun. And that is reminiscent of a song I think I brought up last week with duets, Lady Gaga and Beyonce, Telephone, where I flubbed a line by Beyonce and took it the wrong direction, and you guys thought it was hilarious, and I don't want to look at you. You want to know what it was.
I can't remember what it was.
I don't remember. Wouldn't know a Beyonce song if I heard it.
Calling me won't make me leave my girls no faster. And I thought she said something about coming home, but I didn't say it that way, and I wasn't meaning anything, and you both laughed.
Oh, I remember that now.
Okay,
yes, I remember that now.
But the bottom line is, it's a great song about just partying with your friends, and their dudes are calling them, and they're on the dance floor and not wanting to answer.
Well, that reminds me of the Rolling Stones song, I'd Much Rather Be With the Boys.
Okay, yeah.
Which is how much more fun it is hanging out with your buddies than your girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's a red flag.
Yeah, it is a red flag. Yeah.
And that's something I noticed in a lot of the women acts is like a real celebration of like sisterhood and partying and stuff like that. I didn't notice as many like what you just said with the Rolling Stones.
Well, that was actually that was like an outtake that didn't come out. I think it was recorded in like 66 or 65 and didn't actually come out till about 74 or something on the Metamorphosis album. But they also have Waiting on a Friend, which is sort of the same thing where I'm not waiting on a lady, I'm just waiting on a friend.
Was it just a friend, or was it? I always think, was there a drug reference in there?
That's because you saw Keith Richards in the video. He's the one waiting.
Like, what's he waiting for? Like heroin or something?
Waiting on the man.
Yeah, that's different. I mean, but maybe it's the same. I don't know. I never got the feeling he was waiting on anything, but I thought it was straightforward. I thought it was in earnest.
I never thought it was anything untoward.
Yeah.
All right. Well, more girl party songs. Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Yep.
That was just as and I love how she goes, some boys take a beautiful girl and hide her away from the rest of the world. I want to be the one to walk in the sun.
Yeah.
Girls just want to have fun. Cindy's got a lot of, friend type songs.
Well, Time After Time can be
Time After Time. Well, I was for more serious. I was thinking of True Colors too.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah, that became a kind of an LGBTQ anthem because I think it was written for a gay friend who didn't have anybody, and it's just I don't know, it's a beautiful song. But just call me up because I'll always be there. But the party ones, of course, Spice Girls.
I knew we were going to get to that.
Yeah, of course we were. If you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends. And the second line on that is kind of going back to the vitamin C thing. Make it last forever. Friendship never ends. It's like, sometimes friendship does end. Just like those girls in high school thought they would always be friends. They don't talk to each other. But still, I like that. Fifth Harmony, it's an all-woman group from Britain. They broke up not too long ago. They have a song called That's My Girl. And, it's just like a real anthem, kind of a marching kind of parade song. What is it? If you're feeling me, put your 5 high. That's my girl. But just real, a good one. And I found, as far as the boy bands, they didn't seem to do as many of hanging out with me and my friends. But I think Backstreet Boy, Backstreet Everybody. I don't know if you remember Everybody. That's brothers, sisters, everybody sings. So that's the closest thing I find. They didn't. I think for whatever reason, the women bands and women acts tend to brand friends and partying with each other a little more than what I've noticed of the guys. Guys still sing about friends and everything, but in maybe not the same context as often. There are exceptions.
It depends
on thinking of exceptions.
It depends on the act. John brought up NRBQ. They have tons and tons of songs about just hanging out with your buddies.
Yeah.
Even the things they cover. They covered
Riding in My Car.
Yeah, and they covered "Come On Everybody" by Eddie Cochran, which is Just having a big party
Yep.
with all your friends.
I did mention Fergie and London Bridge. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. That's like the ultimate debauchery. She's just drunk and getting drunker and drunk on vodka, and all of a sudden every party starts looking real good. But she's talking about being out on the floor with her girls and all
Right.
that stuff too. So you know, Fergie.
Well-
I skipped over one. I'm surprised you two haven't mentioned either. But Pretenders, I'll Stand By You.
Well, I didn't put that one down because I knew you would bring it up.
Oh, don't count on that. I'll forget, I might forget my very favorite song of all time. So you can't. Anyway, I think it's a very, just a real touch. It was more recent, so it was like 94, so kind of after the first wave of, snarling Chrissy Hynde.
After two of the members had died.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But what is it? Take me into your darkest hour and I'll never desert you.
Yep.
I'll stand by you, so.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too.
Chrissy can just hit it. Chrissy Hynde.
Well, a good source of songs for this podcast has been hitting up my father-in-law on Sunday because we always visit the in-laws on Sunday evening, and he went off about this song. I had never even heard it before, but it was called "He Was a Friend of Mine."
That's on my list. That's my next oldest song.
Well, and apparently it's a traditional song. It's been covered by a million people. He thought, I think it's Willie Nelson, and Willie Nelson does cover it, but Marty Stewart covered it, Bob Dylan covered it. There's a million people have covered it.
Yeah, it was written I think it was first documented, I think, by Alan Lomax, like in the late 30s. The first place I heard it was Dave Van Ronk, who was sort of the guy who inspired the movie Inside Llewyn Davis. But it's a song about a dead friend, and he's just talking about,
Bob thought it might be about Jesus.
Really? Maybe it was. I don't know. I mean, they brought it. A lot of people sang it after Kennedy was assassinated, because it seemed pertinent to that. But I haven't thought about it in a Jesus context.
And the Jesus John Kennedy thing is, there's an XTC song, Peter Pumpkinhead, that compares John Kennedy to Jesus. Really, it's a great song.
Yeah, but that's a terrific song, and it's been covered. It's like your father-in-law said. I mean, it's been covered since the 30s by tons of people. But it had a big revival right after Kennedy was shot.
I had a teacher once when we were, I think it was, and maybe this is why I hated poetry, but it was like the trick to making her happy was to find Jesus references in every poem and
for goodness
everything.
sakes.
And at first I was like, well, I never thought of that. I never thought of that. And it's just like, okay, where can I put? Okay, this isn't about his dog. It's about Jesus, and this is
about Jesus' dog.
It's like everything's about Jesus. Yeah. But,
well, I mean, there are certainly Christ allegories in
course,
all sorts of
course.
things, but not every poem.
No, I know, and I just wasn't. I wasn't feeling the vibe.
Yeah, well,
And the whole thing about like not sure who people are talking about. It's like if you're not sure, just go with it. Make it about anybody or anything you want.
Cool.
There's some darker Friends songs too. I don't know if you all had any of those, but
Well,
I've got some of that.
I have "You Never Know Who Your Friends Are" by Al Cooper.
Okay.
Which the cover of that album, it's a title song to one of his albums, and the cover of that album is a really violent scene from the 1968 Democratic Convention riots in Chicago.
Wow.
It's like done on this tack piano, and it sounds like it's sort of sarcastic. But if I were lying in jail, would you get out of bed and pay my bail? And he goes all the things that he would do. I'd shower you with food and money. After all, what are friends for? And then he goes, they're really such a bore hanging around your door, but you want some more.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And that's Al
Cooper.
Al Cooper.
Cooper with a K.
Yeah, okay.
I've got some like that. One I want to get out of the way, though, is Sarah McLachlan's Good Enough. That's when she's singing to her friend who's been abused by this guy, and she's always making excuses for her, and Sarah's saying, it's not the wind that broke your shoulder. And anyway, it's real beautiful, but it's she's pledging her, again, it's called Good Enough, and she's pledging her devotion to her friend.
Right.
It's like, Don't tell me why he's never been there for you. Don't tell me why he's never been good to you. Don't you know that why is simply not good enough? And then it goes on to the, just let me try and I'll be that friend you need. So a beautiful song, but very heavy-handed. And then I've mentioned this one before too. The "Never Let Me Down Again" by Depeche Mode. Taking a ride with my best friend. I hope he never lets me down again. Don't know what's going on there, but it's dark and really compelling. But then I've got a few songs here where they just make you question your friends. And one of the best ones was "What About Your Friends" from 1992 by TLC. Waterfalls and all that stuff. And it's all about she's been deceived. They've been deceived, and they're starting to distrust their friends. And now it's like everything they thought about their friends, they took for granted, and now they question everything about how sincere they are. And it's, will your friends, will they stand their ground? Will they let you down? And that plays off in Jody Watley too. Why are you looking at me like that? Jody Watley from 1989, she had a song called "Friends," and it's even more biting than TLC was, but it's like jealousy and envy reign, never want to see you get ahead, they just hold you back. Friends will let you down. Friends won't be around when you need them most. Where are your friends? I know.
I've got a Cracker song called "I Need Better Friends."
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a great one because it goes through all the different things that have been happening lately, and the chorus is, "When will this shit end? I need better friends."
Well, Joan Jett is, you remember Fake Friends?
Yep.
Because she's like, losing friends. You got nothing to lose. You don't lose when you lose fake friends.
Yep.
That was upbeat way of looking at, ditching those liars and cheats and bad friends.
Well, there's a great song about Big Star on Big Star 3rd called "Thank You, Friends."
Okay.
And it's... I've never quite understood how sincere.
Yeah, it sounds sincere, but if you know Alex Chilton, you think he's probably doesn't mean that.
Well, it's my favorite line. He says he's thanking them for making this all so probable. So I've never quite figured out exactly what he means by probable. But I think that's a great one. And I haven't brought up the Kinks yet, other than at the beginning. And they have a song called...
John. Let's wait for this.
Yeah, just sit back here. They have a song called "See My Friends."
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Which basically, I've never quite understood what he's talking about there. He's just talking about...
It's kind of psychedelic.
Well, he's broke up with his girlfriend, but there's my friends over there across the river, and it sounds like he's going to just go out and hang out with them instead. There's a song called "All of My Friends Were There" about all these different things that he achieves, and all of his friends were there, and not just my friends, but their best friends too.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's "Do You Remember Walter," which is a song about a childhood friend and wondering what's happened to him now because he was always such a popular, great kid back then. And then...
Did we find out about Walter? Just an open-ended...
Well, it's kind of like James. He's just asking these questions of, where are you now and what's happened to you?
You took the time to write a song, but you didn't bother to do the research to find out what happened?
Well, I mean, he's just sitting there thinking about him.
Yeah.
And then there's "Catch Me Now I'm Falling," which talks about how I was always there for you and where are you now when I'm down.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
and
that's pointed.
And it's a really good song, and he goes through the list of, I remember you were down and you always came running to me. But, yeah, the Kinks have tons of friend songs from every different description. And then I want to bring up one more that people hated that I still love. Wars, Why Can't We Be Friends?
Okay.
That was just...
Was that like the only line of that song I know? It seems like they sing that like 100 times in a row.
They sing it 100 times, but it's not the only line.
There are verses.
They throw out little things in between.
Is it talking about more of a social, political perspective? Like, why can't different...
Yeah, I think it's sort of why can't we all get along?
Okay.
More than anything, don't you?
That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I ain't bad with that.
Yeah, but at the time it came out, I remember people hating on it. It's like,
Really?
I know it's real commercial. It's real just catchy and cute. And But I think
right
it's a
up there
good
with
song.
Bette Midler, Wind Beneath My Wings.
No, it's not. No. That one, I mean, I need to detox after hearing that song. I need to,
Take a shower.
yeah, I hate that song.
Well, here's one that makes me laugh. And
Okay.
I can finish with this one. If
Okay.
Y'all can still do it if you want. But Lynn's Still My Sunshine. And it's all about Mark Constanza's, like, if you steal my sunshine, blah, blah, blah. And he's down and out. But the best part, there are these three guys, I think they're all in the band, Tim, Matt, and Chad.
Okay.
And they have these spoken passages in it. And it starts with, there's a, Andrea True Connections, More is kind of the bass line for it. So you get that kind of rhythm that they've used for it. And they rap and stuff. But so Tim and Matt are talking in the beginning. They're like, oh, have you noticed that Mark's down? Yeah, he's really down. And we need to figure out how to cheer him up. And and then Tim, he goes, well, does he like butter tarts? I just thought it was such a weird thing, and I had to look up what butter tarts were. And so
Butter tarts. Okay.
that's ultimately a Friends song because the friends are trying to cheer him up, and they do, and they
With butter tarts.
with butter tarts.
Well, the question is,
They're a Canadian band too, so I think butter tarts are more common up there.
what are butter tarts exactly?
They're like tarts.
Made out of butter.
Well, it would probably cheer me up for somebody to bring me some butter tarts.
Yeah, I'm down. My whole life is, what? Oh, is that strawberry? Strawberry butter tart? I'm good.
Quivering bovine lipids.
Oh, thanks. I don't want to think about that. Bovine lipids. Well, there's plenty more out there, but I think I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm done.
All right, let's go to recommendations. Who wants to start? And with whatever.
I'll start with a movie, a documentary made in 1985 called Louie Bluey. Louie Bluey is about Howard Armstrong, who was born in La Follette, Tennessee, and recorded a bunch of 78s with the Tennessee Chocolate Drops, which are the inspiration for the Carolina Chocolate Drops as far as names go. But he was partnered with Carl Martin and Ted Bogan, and I knew him a little bit. He was a great character. When I talk to people ask me who the smartest people are I've interviewed. It's always Dolly Parton and Howard Armstrong.
Oh, wow.
Howard Armstrong could play many, many, many different instruments. He mostly played the fiddle, but he could play the mandolin and probably everything. He spoke 5 languages.
Wow.
He died, I think he was about 97 when he died, and his last wife found out how old he was when he died because he told her he was like 5 years younger than he was.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But he is a character. This is made before he met his last wife by Terry Zwigoff, the director who directed Bad Santa and the Robert Crumb documentary and Ghost World, which is a great film. All his films have been good. But he came to East Tennessee and he followed Howard around with Ted Bogan. They went back to the place where the area where he was born, and then they go to Chicago where he was living at the time. And it is just so much fun because Howard was a great raconteur. He was a great visual artist. He did this book called The ABCs of Pornography, which you get to see pictures of in the movie. And his paintings are wonderful.
Okay.
And he is Louie Bluey?
He was Louie Bluey. A woman at a party, after they'd played one night, gave him the name Louie Bluey. But his name was Howard Armstrong.
Okay.
But
Where do we see this?
Well, I know it streams on the Criterion channel for streaming services. I'm sure it's very cheap to rent on Amazon or Apple or all these different places. It's not much more than an hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes.
I like that. You should have started with that.
It's very short and it's really, really charming. Okay. And he is funny as all get out. Part of the shtick that he and Ted Bogan had was Howard would constantly insult Ted Bogan, who was the guitar player in the group. And Ted would come back sometimes with very sly returns, even though he seemed like he was sort of a dimwit until you were listening to him, and he was as funny as Howard was. Louie Bluey, 1985, directed by Terry Zwigoff. Fun movie.
All right. John, you got a movie or a TV?
Yes, I have ventured very little into anything other than the Tour de France because we're recording this in July, but the Tour de France just ended yesterday. It was great. But my wife and I have been watching The Gilded Age on HBO,
Okay.
and we loved Downton Abbey. And then when we started The Gilded Age, it's by the same fellows.
Now, is it in America, though?
It's set in New York.
Oh, okay.
In about 1830 something.
Okay.
And it to me, Downton Abbey had a lot of really sympathetic characters, and it was beautifully filmed, and it felt good. This, everybody in there is just like they stab each other in the back. It's all
Really?
about social climbing. But we're in the middle of the second season. The third season is rolling out now, and the more I watch it, the more we watch it, the more we're finding good characters we really like, and the story is really good, and it's factually correct. It's about the development of the Metropolitan Opera in New York, and because before the Metropolitan Opera, there was the Academy of Opera, and that's where all the old money people had boxes, and that was where the social scene was, and the nouveau riche people like the Vanderbilts and the Rockefellers couldn't get into the Academy because the Astors just wouldn't let them in because they're tasteless, young industrialists. And so the wife of one of the big railroad magnates decided she wanted a box at the Academy more than anything else in the world, but they would not allow her to be there because she was just low-born. And so she just took the bull by the horns and created the Metropolitan Opera. And once she got her legs under her and got the funding and started building the building's way bigger than the Academy, and the Metropolitan Opera still exists to this day, and the Academy only lasted like 3 more years after the Met opened. And it's really interesting history.
Okay.
So it's good.
Yeah, I've seen it, and it's very quiet, and it's like something I could probably really sleep well to. But I wondered what the story even was. I noticed they all had like kind of American accents. So.
It is set in New York in about 1835.
Okay.
They've just opened the Brooklyn Bridge. It's hailed as one of the marvels of the modern world, and the architect that built the bridge early on was struck down with some kind of a debilitating condition. His wife was also an architect and engineer, and she just took it on and built the rest of the Brooklyn Bridge. Okay. But she couldn't tell anybody because she was a woman,
right? And
no one would use the bridge if it was designed by a woman.
Oh my goodness!
And but she ended up doing almost all of the work because her husband was just debilitated. I don't know. It's really interesting.
All right.
The Gilded Age on HBO Max.
All right, sounds good. I was trying to think of something relating to Friends, and the last songs I was thinking of were the darker songs. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, what's a frenemy type movie that I would recommend? And it's like 1992's Death Becomes Her. I love that movie. It's hilarious. Meryl Streep in fine, hilarious form, and Goldie Hawn play these frenemies that just wrong each other left and right. And Meryl Streep is this vain actress, and Goldie Hawn is this vain writer, and they hate each other. And then they've got a man between them. These dates. Bruce Willis plays this man who I think he was starting out as like a plastic surgeon, but he becomes basically the guy who paints on makeup on bodies, funeral. And he's just really playing against type because he's just this emasculated alcoholic. And these two women just have the greatest lines. Meryl Streep's all in. Goldie Hawn's right up there with her. And it gets it's got this real surreal environment, very, great budget, great special effects. I don't know if you remember that much, but...
I remember the head backwards. I remember her head backwards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They both individually discover this formula for immortality. And oddly enough, that's a role for Isabella Rossellini, which is also a really wild role. But it's surreal and it's funny and it's not scary at all. But great funny lines and just how bad. And they just end up stuck with each other. That's the best part. It's like they're constantly trying to one-up each other and then they end up needing each other. So Death Becomes Her, 1992. If you haven't seen that somehow, black comedy, Meryl Streep, Yeah, best actress.
She's good in everything.
She certainly is.
I need to watch that again. I saw it when it came out at the theater. I thought
you
it was
definitely
hilarious.
see- Yeah, it holds up. It
Does it?
I saw it like
I
months
don't believe
ago.
I've seen it.
Oh, you've got to see it.
I
it's
will.
Just it's a riot.
Now that there's no bike racing to watch.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All right. Oh, music.
I'm going to recommend, and it's a slightly self-serving because I designed the album cover, Handsome and the Humble's brand new album, Draw Some Blood.
I saw that album cover.
It's great, isn't it?
It was great. If the music's half as good, it'd be awesome.
What's the name of the album?
It's called Draw Some Blood.
Okay.
And Josh Smith is a lead singer-songwriter. Josh Hudson's a lead guitar player. And this is, I only do album covers for artists that I like. And Josh just gets better and better as a songwriter. And this includes a couple of songs about wrestling, because his father was a wrestler named Izzy Slapowitz. He wanted to be the most popular Jewish wrestler in the country, and he got pretty close. He was pretty popular.
Where was he?
He was in New York, and then he was down here
Okay.
in East Tennessee area, and in the South. Basically, they had
Right.
the way they have those regions.
Right.
But he's got a great song on there, the title song, Draw Some Blood. And it's about just the experience of going to a wrestling match, in this case in New York City, and the expectations. And that's the thing. If you're lucky, you might see some blood. And anybody who grew up going to wrestling matches, I did when I was a little kid. My
Did
stepdad
you see
did.
blood?
Oh, heck yeah. We
Real
did-
blood?
Oh yeah. Well, what they would do is they would get a little razor blade piece, and they would cut like right above their forehead, because
Right.
your forehead bleeds like nobody's business.
Yeah.
So
Skin.
it looks real dramatic.
Cool.
And oh yeah, we saw all sorts of stuff. But Josh is a good songwriter. He's got a real pretty song about a real heartbreak song on here, and just overall, it's, if you like Americana, countryish kind of music, I think you'll like it.
What was your inspiration for the cover?
Well, the cover, actually, I built a little television set out of cardboard and paper, and I got a picture of Josh's dad in a wrestling match, and apparently that one got really bloody, but the picture I used, it wasn't any blood, so I added blood, and I drew a picture
License.
and put that on the television screen, and then got some clay to make some fake red blood coming out of the TV, and then did a little Handsome and the Humbles thing on the top of it.
All right.
But it was fun. It was a fun project to do, and I love Josh's music. So, Draw Some Blood, Handsome and the Humbles.
All right. And go to WayneBledsoe.com and see the great work that Wayne does.
I need to put that one
He
on.
designed our logo for How We Heard It. He designed our logo for Cozy Planet, our parent company.
Appreciate
and
it.
He's a great artist.
Thank you.
I want to recommend the 1997 album by Michael Penn called Resigned. Michael Penn is Sean Penn's brother.
Amy Mann's boyfriend.
Was
boyfriend.
yes, and they formed. There's a whole sort of musical collective with John Bryan and Michael Penn and Amy Mann, and there's a club. I don't know what town it is, but it's Largo, where they just have nights where all those people come down there, and there's any number of combination of people that might be playing together or singing together or whatever. But
I think it's somewhere in Los Angeles.
I believe it is. It's Southern California. He's put out, his first album came out in '89. This one's from '97. He's still putting out albums. He put out a soundtrack album in 2022, soundtrack to Hollywood Stargirl. I don't know the movie, but anyway, I just kind of stumbled into this record and thought, I hadn't listened to any Michael Penn in a while. I'm going to listen to an album of his that I haven't heard. It's
what's
called
the-
Resigned or
This is
Resigned.
the 97?
97.
I'm sorry. Resigned or what?
It's either re-signed or resigned. I don't know. Maybe he got signed to a new label or something. But he's a really good songwriter and a really good singer, and I think it's him playing most of the lead guitar stuff on there too, which I know you're not going to be interested in, Chuck. But then again, you surprised me because you turned me on to Throwing Muses,
Throwing
and that's a
Muses,
guitar rock band if there ever was one.
Yeah.
So you might like it.
I will take that handoff for my recommendation. Last week when I talked about, or last time I guess, when I talked about Throwing Muses, these were two stepsisters, Kristen Hirsch and Tanya Donnelly. Good. And they formed in the 80s when they were teenagers. And then I talked about Throwing Muses and how it really became Kristen Hirsch's project and how she's had a lot of hardships and everything in her life. And Tanya Donnelly, I didn't follow up on her, but she is awesome in her own right. Mm-hmm. She's more of a kind of the sunny voice mm-hmm. in all the darkness of Kristen Hirsch. And she went on to form the band Belly. You got to find out, you got to check in on Belly. They were...
I have a story about this.
Okay. Yeah, they were hot and furious for a few years. They had 1993 album debut Star, which is fantastic. It had the song Feed the Tree, which was actually a
great
hit.
song.
Pretty big hit.
Yeah, and it's about an old man who's about to die. Feeding the tree means dying and being buried to feed the tree and passing advice along. And but just everything from like there's this jangly song called Geppetto and this wonky song called Slow Dog, Low Red Moon.
Very melodic.
Yes, yeah. And that's the thing about Tanya Donnelly is she is melodic and she's brighter than Kristen Hirsch, but that doesn't mean she's bright. Kristen Hirsch is darkness, incarnate, and Tanya Donnelly is a little more balanced, and she's got Low Red Moon on this Star album is great. It's like just as dark as Kristen could get. And Untogether, which is a sad little ballad. But they also had an album in 95 called King. And the interesting thing about that, I like the title track of King, but there was a song that I swear was on this album called Burn. And it has this great, weird thing where her voice just kind of goes off into all these things and is boomeranging around and all that. And I'm sure it was on King, but I can't find it on King anymore, and I can't find it anywhere. I can find references to it, but I don't see it listed under any track listing. But I remember it because she goes, "You're in for the fight of your life tonight. I'm giving you a head start. You better run." But it's got that kind of sunniness, but also this mania. And I looked it up on Spotify, and I called King up. And for their album cover now, it says, "Delete Spotify." So I have a feeling that perhaps Belly's had kind of a wrangle with Spotify, and so it may be that song is not on there, but I know that song exists. I sent my friend Ray, I didn't hear back from him, a message that, "Do you remember this song?" Mm-hmm. Because I looked up Throwing Muses, it was definitely a Belly song called Burn. But anyway, the main point of emphasis, 1993 album Star, their debut is just beautiful, and it was the balance that Throwing Muses maybe didn't have as much, but it's guitar-oriented stuff too. So.
Yeah.
Well, I have regularly attended the music festival Bonnaroo, which happens every summer in Manchester, Tennessee. And one year, this was probably 4 or 5 years ago, me and one of my buddies in our group looked, and coming up next was Belly.
Okay.
And I was like, well, we got to go see them. I mean, it's that cute blonde girl. We got to go check her out. And they were playing in one of the tents. And so we went over to the tent, and it was like there were tons of people in the tent, and they were kind of blasting out music. And people were dancing and stuff, but there was nobody on stage. There were no instruments, there was no anything. And I thought, well, I guess they just hadn't loaded in, or what, people were just dancing, they're blasting music, and it went on and on. And then we noticed everybody was like jumping in unison and shouting at certain things, and we were like, and we kind of walked around, and there was a dude with a laptop back in the corner with no lights on him, named Belly.
Oh, that Belly. I'm sorry, I didn't even think they were performing.
Yeah, I know. We thought the same thing. I was like, I hadn't heard anything from that band in a long time. Yeah. And the Emperor had no clothes on.
I think they had some kind of, they did break up. They were just together from the mid-90s. But I did think they got together for something a few years ago. And I will say, I interviewed Tanya Donnelly, and she was so down to earth. I would be terrified to talk to her stepsister, but she was so down to earth, and she was very funny and genuine, and and very respectful of her stepsister, who's also a musical genius. But it was one of the most disarming interviews I've had because she just sounded like just somebody I just met and standing in line at a coffee shop.
Cool.
So,
didn't the drummer go on to do something when the
I don't know. They were all over, but she was in the Breeders temporarily, so just all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, Tanya Donnelly, Belly, following up on Throwing Muses.
Not the rapper Belly.
Not the rapper Belly. No. I don't know why I didn't think of that when you started talking, because now when you search Belly, that's what comes up all the time, most of the time.
Yeah, I just
so you have to throw in Tanya Donnelly too to get the Belly you want. And I also say burn. If you type in belly burn, YouTube, so many videos about burning fat on your belly.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
And then she's fighting with Spotify. So
Well, I
God
just
knows.
looked up on Apple Music, and it's Burn is not on that album on Apple Music either.
The lyrics are. It's really might be my favorite song of theirs. But something's happened.
Huh.
So who knows? It's a mystery. All right, everybody, we're ready to go now.
Thank you, Sarah, for the recommendation.
Thank you, Sarah, for the recommendation. You got a good man. He's got a good woman. We're happy for you both.
We're happy to.
Okay, good.
We're happy you're happy.
And if you got any questions for us, write us at howweheardit@gmail.com. And maybe we'll even take your ideas if you have any good ones for us. And have a good one, and we'll be back.
You've been listening to How We Heard It with Chuck Campbell and Wayne Bledsoe, a podcast about music, movies, art, culture, whatever it is that's on their mind. How We Heard It was recorded at the Arbor Studio in Knoxville, Tennessee by me, John Baker. How We Heard It is a Cozy Planet production. If listening to this podcast has given you a burning sensation, then we recommend you sit in a hot tub until your symptoms fade away. If you'd like to reach out to Chuck or Wayne or even me, you can send an email to howweheardit@gmail.com. So thank you for listening, and come on back and we'll have another episode for you next week.